Okay, let's take a look at the first page of the homework assignment, worksheet 1.1, dealing with arithmetic and geometric sequences. So on the front page, you got a whole bunch of sequences here that you're asked to identify as arithmetic or geometric. So remember, arithmetic is adding or subtracting to get the next term. Geometric is multiplying or dividing to get the next term. Increasing or decreasing. So increasing goes up, decreasing goes down, increasing getting bigger and bigger. The numbers are getting bigger, decreasing, they're getting smaller and smaller. Now, once you have it identified as arithmetic or geometric, what I like to tell students is, if it's arithmetic, then you're dealing with a common difference. We like to use the letter D for that. If you're talking geometric, we're talking about a common ratio. We like to use the letter R. So to take you through these here, to get started, on the first one, just like to switch colors here. First thing I always do is I take a look at how do I go from the first term to the next term to the next term to the next term. I always start with arithmetic. I always see, is it adding or subtracting? So to get to 31 to 25, it's decreasing, it's going down, so I can at least write decreasing. Decreasing. But the question is, how much is it going down by? When I look at this, to go from 31 to 25, subtract 6. Do I get the same, when I subtract 6 from 25, do I get 19? Sure enough, I do. So I know that this one is arithmetic. Now that I know that it's arithmetic, I'm dealing with a common difference. So it's going to be D equals, and the common difference is what I added or subtracted to get that next value. In this case, it was a minus 6. So moving right along to the second one, same process throughout all of these. So I think to myself, what do I do to go from 5 to 10? Well, normally I add 5, but if I add 5 to 10, I don't get 20. So I know it's not arithmetic. So this time I know it's geometric. The question becomes, what am I multiplying by or dividing by to get that? Well, I know that it's going up, so I can at least say that it's increasing. So the question becomes, what is that common ratio? Well, 5 to get to 10 looks like it's being doubled. 10 to 20 is being doubled or multiplied by 2, so my common ratio is 2. Next one, number 3. Moving right along here, just picking a different color here. We're doing the same process, 100 to 110, 110 to 121. Well, 100 to 110, normally I'd be adding 10, but if I kept on adding 10, this should be 120, this should be 130, and that should be 140, which it's not. So I know that it's not arithmetic, I know that it's geometric, I know that it's increasing. The question now becomes, how do I get that common ratio? The quickest way to get the common ratio is you take the next term, or in this case, if I take 110, the second term, and divide it by the first term. It will give me what I multiply by. In this case, it's 1.1. Now what I can do too is, if it doesn't seem that simple doing it in your head, if I take 110 divided by 100, you will see, hey, it's 1.1. Now what I can do is start checking also just to make sure, hey, does the pattern hold? So what I can do on my calculator is enter in that first term, times it by 1.1, hit enter, notice how I get the second term. Then if I hit the times button and multiply my answer by 1.1, notice how it gives me the third term. Do the same thing, notice how I get that fourth term. So I know I got the right pattern. All right, moving right along, we're going to move to the next one here. 9 to 17 to 25 to 33. Well, 9 to get to 17, I'd be adding 8. 17 plus 8 is 25, so this one is arithmetic. It was, again, going up. My common now, since it's arithmetic difference, is 8. Next one, let's see here. Let's go to this color here, 2.2 to 2.9. So if I'm thinking $2.20, $2.90, that's 0.770 cents. Add another 0.7, sure enough I'm getting 3.6. So this one too is arithmetic. It was going up, so we're still increasing. Got a lot of increasings here. Common difference, 0.7. So sometimes you do get decimals. Speaking of decimals, when we do this next one here, 100 to 95. Well, I'd be subtracting 5, but when I subtract 5 again, I don't get 90.25. I'd actually have 90. So it can't be arithmetic. This one's geometric. This one, however, is decreasing. My values are going down. So now if I go 95 divided by 100, that actually gives me the decimal 0.95. So I'm a person who likes to check just to make sure things are looking pretty good. So if I go 95 and divide it by 100, I get 0.95. That's my common ratio. That's my R value. So I'm going to take that 0.95 times it by 100. That was my first term. 95, I get the second term. Times it by 0.95 again. Sure enough, 90.25, 85.735. It looks beautiful. So my common ratio definitely was 0.95. Looking at our next one here, we have 50 to 56. Ooh, that's really hard to see. So I'm going to switch colors and go back to this purple here. So 50 to 56, that's adding 6. But I would just be at 62, so this one here too is geometric. This one was increasing, going up. So it's geometric, R equals. So if I go 56 divided by 50, if it helps, if you do that on your calculator, I believe it ends up being 1.12, just so that you can see it. 56 divided by 50 equals 1.12. So that one's checking out. And again, you can plug them in and multiply and do that last answer feature to keep on checking. Our last one now, 9.5 to 7.2. If I was subtracting, that's going down by 2.3. If I subtract again, sure enough, it is subtracting 2.3. So this one is arithmetic. This one was decreasing. And this, we would say the common difference is negative 2.3. So now, let's move to question number 2. Again, anytime you need to take a little bit of a break or think things through, go ahead and just pause the video and come right back to it. So for the second question, it says, for the following sequences from above, write the recursive rule for each and then find u sub 12. So here, recursive rule has 2 parts. It has the starting value, u sub 1, and then it has this u sub n equals u sub n minus 1, and then some mathematical operation. So on this first one, my starting value was 31. It's the first term. So on these problems, anytime you're given just a general sequence, we use u sub 1. Later on in our lessons, we might be using something different. But anytime you're given just a general sequence, u sub 1. So now we have u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. Now, again, how this works, this is basically how are you deriving the next term using the previous term. So the u sub n is the next term, the u sub n minus 1 is the previous term. So it'd be like u sub 2 equals u sub n minus, or u sub 2 minus 1. Well, 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm going to take 31, and to get 25, I'm subtracting 6. Now, you need to find u sub 12. So that's where that last answer feature is going to come into play, and we have a lot of counting that we're going to have to do. So I start off by going 31 minus 6, I get 25. So I have my first term there at 31, second term there at 25. If I subtract 6 again, there's my third term. Now since I'm using this last answer feature, if I keep on hitting enter, it's going to keep on doing it for me. So there's my 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So I get negative 35. So u sub 12 equals negative 35. All right, next one was that same one from up top, or the second one from top, where I started with 5. So u sub 1 equals 5. This one was that geometric one, so u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. Geometric means multiply, and that common ratio was 2. So now, to get u sub 12, I'm going to use my calculator once again. Start with 5, times it by 2. There's my second term, third term. The biggest thing is counting. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. 10,240. So I get 10,240. All right, 3 more to go. Kind of pick it up here a little bit. Again, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video and then come back to the next, or then unpause it to come to the next problem. So if we look from top, again, my first term, u sub 1 equals 100. Then it always goes u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. And from what we remember from top, we are multiplying by 1.1. So u sub 12, then it's just using that last answer feature once again. So I'm just going to clear that. Start with 100, times it by 1.1. So there's my second term, times it again. There's my third term, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So sure enough, 285, I'll just round it to 2 decimal places. So 285.31. 2 more to go on this page. So our next one here. Again, first term is actually the same as our previous problem, 100. But this one was decreasing because we were multiplying by, oops, forgot the little decimal point, multiply by 0.95. So now, we notice how this one's going down. This one's going to get smaller and smaller. So again, just start with a 100, times it by 0.95. There's 2, times it by 0.95. There's the third, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. There we go, 56.88. 56.88. Last one on this page. So, u sub 1 is 50. So u sub n equals u sub n minus 1. And how were we getting to 56 and 62.72? We were multiplying by 1.12. So u sub 12 equals, go to my calculator one last time. This one I'm actually starting at 50, timesing it by 1.12. Do it again. There's the third term, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So 173.93. Just as a helpful hint, make sure you count correctly. If your answers are off here on any of these, it could be just because we just counted up to 12 incorrectly. We started at 0 instead of 1, or started at 2 instead of 1. So, good luck, and you can flip back or flip to the next page and start the next video.